me see. I'll figure something out.
I'm an immortal for you to figure that out real quick. We could wait, but real quick, Kamui. So in the top left panel, in that top left part of the panel, is that just a secondary Momoshiki that looks slightly different, or is that just a different Ozuki?
That's Kaguya.
That is not Kaguya.
That's Kaguya.
I've always wondered if Kaguya and Momoshiki are actually siblings, and they just don't want to reveal that until later on.
Ikimoto's not allowed to draw Kaguya ever again. keep Kaguya out of the story, please.
That's Kaguya, I'm telling you, bro. But yes, they do look. I mean, when you look at Ikimoto's art, though, they do look very similar. I do think it would work. So if there was going to be Otsutsuki siblings, I would either do Momoshiki and Kaguya or Momoshiki and Ishiki. Probably not both. They have to be one or the other. Both have things that make sense. So obviously for Momoshiki Ishiki, Boruto Kawaki, I don't need to say more. You could do a thing to where Ishiki's the adopted brother if Otsutsuki do that. And then in that case, Momoshiki and Kaguya could be the actual siblings. That could work, I suppose, if you want to get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
You know, they always referred to Kaguya as like Princess Kaguya.
Mm-hmm.
Could Momoshiki also be a prince too?
Momoshiki, yeah, that's one of the arguments. Momoshiki literally has like the most royalty, but just look at how he dresses and acts in the movie. Like, bro has royalty written all over him.
Yeah.
Now,
he's Lord Momoshiki, by the way.
Kinshiki's
no other Otsutsuki is Lord so far.
I don't know if Kinshiki actually says this, but I think in the light novels and probably in the manga, actually in the light novels, they mention that Kinshiki's like a father figure to Momoshiki.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that's
like
the point in the first place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm really just wondering who are they related to? Like there has, because I think in the anime, or whether that was in the last movie or whatever, they showed we were shown like statues of Otsutsuki. These like
it's when Sasuke's
kings.
in that dimension.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Sasuke's in the dimension, and I was just wondering to myself, okay, Otsutsuki kings, if they exist, as well as Otsutsuki gods, I'm guessing those Otsutsuki kings might be the gods. Or maybe they're just like a different, entire separate status from the Otsutsuki gods.
So if there are kings, I'm thinking they are just different from like Shibai, because first, I mean, part of this depends on what Momoshiki means when he says Shibai was an Otsutsuki. Does he either mean Shibai is dead, or does he mean that Shibai is no longer an Otsutsuki? That's the first question, because if it's the latter, then an Otsutsuki king would just by default be different from a god. Like Shibai is not an Otsutsuki anymore in that case. And second, who's making all their laws that don't exist in the manga and are probably going to be retconned out of Two Blue Vortex and never brought up again anywhere? But who's making all these rules about the space curvature of 16 must be reported back to the clan, and Urashiki's investigations with the clan, and watching Toneri on the moon because they're the clan, and you got to bring back pills for the clan? Who's making these rules? Because I don't know if Shibai's making them. It seems like Shibai's a lone wolf doing his own thing, which would imply, okay, there's just a different leader who's still an Otsutsuki making these rules. But it all depends on whether any of this is just gonna be addressed, or if it's just drop plot points. Similarly, for all we know, those statues were basically Shibai, but Shibai got a new design. You know, that's the problem, is that too many things could just be retconned. Wouldn't be the first time.
I wouldn't necessarily say Shibai is doing its own thing as a lone wolf or whatever. It's possible that he's the one that made all of the Otsutsuki creed. I think he was, honestly. He just isn't around to continue it. The Otsutsukis are just continuing it for him, despite him not being there.
That's also possible. I mean, there's a lot of things that could be. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there could be a chance they might retcon this because most of the stuff that you're talking about is in the anime, and I think that's
Yeah,
in
it's anime
anime
only.
canon.
Like
Yeah,
they're not
anime
talking
only.
about space curvatures and Urashiki nonsense in the manga. Like,
Yeah.
It's just I felt like that was also so many like that is a missed opportunity to incorporate that into the manga too.
I agree. We
I just
better
don't know why
do
they
some
don't.
more pancake dialogue instead, right?
Yeah, I just don't know why they won't include stuff like that into the manga. Like that's very
So we
interesting.
can listen to the elder say nothing for 10 pages.